Hello everybody, and today I have a shotgun gameplay for you guys, and there's some moments in this game where I was watching the gameplay back while editing it and I was like, oh, that was awesome. Like, there's just some really cool moments in this game, and that's the general thing with the shotgun. The shotgun is extremely rewarding to use in Titanfall. It just makes you feel like you're some crazy assassin ninja dude jumping around and wall running and just like insta-killing people. It's amazing. It's very rewarding. It can be extremely frustrating on the bigger maps, but it is very rewarding. So for this video, what I actually wanted to talk to you guys about was living alone for the first time. A few people have asked me about my experience of living alone for the first time, because obviously there's a lot of you guys that are going away to college or even moving out by yourself for the first time, and you guys are wondering how it was for me. So I thought I would just talk about my experience of living alone and some things that I noticed, some things that were expected and some things that weren't necessarily as expected. So the first thing that may seem really obvious, but for me it was personally really unexpected, is just how lonely you can feel sometimes. Because when you're at home, right, even if you're not interacting with the people that are in the house with you, you know, like your mother, your father, your siblings, or whatever, you feel like you're not alone. There's someone else in the house. You're not just sitting in your house all alone. There's someone actually there. But when you're living on your own, like, there's nobody there. There's nobody around. There's no one that you could just go and talk to anytime you feel like it. And it's really noticeable. I really noticed it. And although when I was at home, I would mostly just sit in my room and play games all day. I wouldn't necessarily interact with the people in my house. When I was alone, I felt the want or the need to go out more and socialize, because it just felt really lonely sometimes when I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I'm doing the same things that I would do at home, just playing games by myself, but for some reason it just feels really empty and really lonely. It's weird. This also happens when you have pets and then you don't have pets for whatever reason. Like, it just helps knowing that there's something else in the house. There's someone else there, there's a pet there, whatever. But when there's nothing, it just feels really empty and really lonely. So although a lot of you, I'm sure, are really looking forward to the freedom, definitely expect to have some moments where you're like, God damn it, I'm a lonely sucker, because it will happen. Another thing is that you realize just how organized you have to be when you live by yourself, because I wouldn't say that my mom does everything for me, but she definitely does stuff in the house, right? It's not just me looking after the house by myself. So when you're alone, you realize that stuff gets messy really quickly. Like, you can't just leave something for however long, because it's just you that's gonna pick it up. There's no one else there that's gonna do anything. It's just you, and that's it. So if you leave something, it's not gonna get washed. If you leave one dish, it can escalate into being like 20 dishes in a sink. So you have to be a lot more organized with cleaning and just staying on top of household things. You also have to be extremely organized when it comes to money, because now you have a lot more responsibilities. When a lot of people just live at home with their parents, they probably are just responsible for like their phone bill, maybe some car stuff, but that's pretty much it. You don't have to worry about rent, you don't have to worry about electricity or water or anything like that, internet, TV, all that stuff. You don't have to worry about that most of the time. But when you live alone, obviously you do have to worry about that stuff, and it's really easy to think that you have more money in your bank than you do. Like, a phone bill has been attempted to take out of my bank account quite a few times, and they're like, bro, you have no money. And I'm like, oops. So it's really easy to just kind of forget when payments are coming out. Usually payments will be coming out on different days unless you organize it specifically to come out on the same day, which I would recommend actually, because it may not seem like a big deal to have like 2 or 3 things going out on different days from your bank account, but it's very, very easy to lose track of them, and usually you'll just keep on adding things to the list that you're having going out each month, and you will get surprised. So call up all of the companies that you have taking money direct from your bank account and put them on the exact same day. Usually it's best to have it go out right after you get paid, because then you don't have to wait and hold on to money. You can just pay all the bills and then know that whatever you have left is what you are free to use. And the last thing that I want to comment on is roommates. I probably will do an entire video about my experiences with different roommates, Cause screw roommates, man. A lot of you are gonna have them. If it's your first time living alone, people usually can't afford to live purely by themselves. So you're gonna have a roommate. And I personally will never have a roommate ever again. I will only live with either my mother or I will move in with a boyfriend or whatever. But I am not gonna have just a roommate. No, screw that. It's really awkward because sometimes you wanna just be alone. You just wanna relax. And you kind of feel like you're forced to talk to them. If you both want to go to the kitchen at the same time, or you're both in the living room at the same time, you feel like you're forced to socialize, and sometimes you just kind of want to chill and be alone. So if you are having to get a roommate with someone that you don't necessarily know that well, just expect that you're gonna not feel as free as you did at home, and sometimes it's gonna piss you off. So choose wisely. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.